Hi, welcome to the video, and this week BMW finally released details about its two upcoming Tesla Challenger EVs, the $55,000 i4 sedan and the $83,000 iX SUV. This video we are just mainly going to go over the sedan and see how it stacks up to the Model 3. Spoiler alert, they are behind in some areas, and like I've been saying for a while, Tesla has a big lead, and on paper, you'll see why. Of course, if you like BMW, if you like their interiors, how they handle, and the way they look, you will absolutely love this car. But when it comes to specs, we can see that it really pays to be ahead and to have been developing this for over 10 years versus just getting into the game in the past couple of years. But let's dive into exactly what this car has to offer. The German luxury brand on Tuesday released pricing information and new details about both of the models. When they arrive in early 2022, the models will be BMW's first new EVs to come stateside since the quirky i3 hatchback hit the market in 2014. I'm going to skip this information about the iX. Let's just jump straight to the information about the i4. A four-door sedan, the i4 is more likely to steal customers away from the Tesla Model S or Model 3. This EV will be sold in two versions, the $55,400 eDrive 40 model and the sportier M50, which starts at $65,900. That means the i4 will cost roughly as much as a gas-fueled 4 Series or 5 Series. Now, this is a really big deal, and congrats to BMW for being able to sell a car that's comparable to their gas-powered counterparts. This is a huge sticking point for a lot of EV buyers. And then the next sticking point, besides price, is actually going to be range. So we'll take a look at that right now. BMW says the base model will have a range of up to 300 miles, while the M50, which again is the sportier version, should get 245 miles between charges. And the reason that the more expensive car gets less range is just because it has more power. It's able to accelerate a lot faster. This is a trend we see in a lot of different EV cars. Here we can look at the exact times. The i4 M50 promises to put out 536 horsepower, enough to send the vehicle to 62 miles per hour in 3.9 seconds. That's impressive. And when plugged into a DC fast charger, both i4 models can go from 10% charge to 80% charge in roughly 31 minutes. Also very good. BMW is aiming for both models to go on sale in the first 3 months of 2022. They represent the start of a new electric direction of the German brand. Finally. And one other thing that this article didn't say, look at this new touchscreen, and they are also advertising this a lot. This is a completely new addition that you won't see in the gas-powered versions. This awesome, horizontal, gorgeous touchscreen. And again, who had a big touchscreen in their car first? It was Tesla. But now let's actually get to the comparison, which I know is what a lot of you want to see. So here in this article, we are going to be comparing the BMW i4 versus the Kia EV6, the Polestar 2, which is from Volvo, and Tesla Model 3. And this is just how it compares on paper. Obviously, if you are used to a certain brand, there are a lot of intangibles that would make you gravitate you towards one car or another. This is just on paper. So here, let's take a look at battery and range. Every i4 will use an 83.9 kilowatt hour battery. Official ranges aren't available yet, but they have estimations. i4 M50, again the sportier version, will have an EPA rating of 245 miles, but the single motor i4 eDrive 40 should do a bit better, around 300 miles. Kia doesn't have estimates, but here, let's just look at this. Here we have the BMW i4 M50, 245 miles, and here we have the Tesla Model 3, 315 miles. And the reason they're comparing these two together is because these are the performance models. So if you actually go to, use the Tesla Model 3 long range, that car has a range of 350 miles, whereas the normal version of the BMW i4 or the entry version has a range of 300 miles. So even if you compare the cheaper models, the Tesla still has it beat. And just these two performance models, I mean, this 70-mile differential, that is a pretty big deal, and that is why Tesla is really ahead, and that's why Tesla is my biggest holding, because Tesla has this huge advantage, and you can see it. You can just see it when you compare it to these other companies. And I believe that these other car companies are going to close the gap eventually. But if you are a brand new buyer today who doesn't necessarily have brand loyalty to any specific car, just looking on these statistics on paper, I think most people or a lot of people would gravitate towards a Model 3. Now let's take a look at the power and performance. Again, this is the performance model. We have 536 horsepower, which is more power than Tesla's 480. Torque, 586 pounds per feet. We're not sure about Tesla's torque. This is comparable to the Kia EV6 and the Polestar 2. Actually, sorry, Polestar 2 is a lot weaker. But now, most importantly, we have the 0 to 60. This is how fast you can accelerate. BMW, 3.9 seconds. Very, very fast. More speed than you will ever need for 99% of people. Kia actually comes in at a very impressive 3.95 seconds. The Polestar is lagging behind at 4.5 seconds. And finally, we have the Tesla Performance at 3.1 seconds. 0.8 seconds faster. That is a lot faster, especially when you are already at these incredible speeds. Top speed of 140. Tesla Model 3 also has it beat at 162 miles per hour. Back in the day when people were talking down electric vehicles, one of the things they always said electric vehicles would never be able to do was actually compete with gas-powered vehicles on speed, because it's just the batteries would be too heavy, or that nobody had developed the technology to get the Teslas or the electric vehicles up to speed. And Tesla has just proved this wrong. They're able to make cars that aren't so incredibly heavy. They're able to make cars a little bit cheaper than we had imagined. And most importantly, they're able to make cars that perform. And here, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. These are the stated speeds. And for Tesla, at least, this is proven. They can definitely do this. I have no doubt if BMW put this speed out, they can also achieve this. But this is the best they can do right now. I promise you, BMW will improve, but the question is, how much will Tesla improve in the meantime? And we can see that with the new Tesla Plaid Model S, which is coming out with a 0 to 60 speed of under 2 seconds for their 0 to 60, which is absurd. But now let's look at some dimensions and designs. I don't know if anybody cares that much about this. Its size is roughly the same size as Tesla Model 3, 112.8 wheelbase to 113. You can just pause the video here if you want to go over the exact exterior dimensions. Here, finally, we are back to price. So the BMW i40 M50 is $66,895, available early 2022. Tesla Model 3 is $58,000, available right now, and that's the difference. So even if BMW were close to Tesla Model 3, it's not even something you can pick up right now. This is only going to be available as early as next year, whereas Tesla Model 3 is about almost $9,000 cheaper, and you can buy it right now. And on paper, it has BMW beat on basically everything except power. But like I kept saying, if you really enjoy BMWs, if you like the experience, if you like the brand name, or you really like the interior, I think this is a totally viable option, even for its cheaper model. Personally, if I were to get a BMW, I would definitely probably get the cheaper model, just because 250 miles of range, that would start giving me a bit of range anxiety. But at 300 miles of range, I would feel more comfortable, and also that's more in my budget. If you want to get a performance model though, it would be tough to choose the M50 over the Tesla Model 3, especially when you look at the range, which is 300 miles for the Model 3, and the 0 to 60 speed, which is a whole 0.8 seconds difference. And if you want to buy a car, that's fun. If you want to buy a car for the speed, Model 3 just has it beat. So I don't know. I think this car is definitely going to find its market. People love BMW for a reason. It's a time-tested brand. They're always very fun to drive. They have a very distinct feel to them. So there's a lot of intangibles that I think it will find its audience. But when it comes to new EV buyers, right now, it's just Model 3 is better. It's just better. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think about the new BMW i4 series. Anyways, that's it for today. If you enjoyed videos like this where I go over news and I try to find new investing opportunities, please consider liking and subscribing. This is Green Knight Trading, where squares become knights. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you soon.